I think art therapy is for anyone who has an issue that interferes with their interpersonal functioning or occupational functioning and then needs some treatment for it. Art therapy is one treatment modality that allows them to express things which they may not be able to express verbally or writtenly, yeah.
I'm Gabriela Craig. I am an art therapist and I also teach art. I grew up in Germany and came to Canada in '69. Art has been part of my life, all my life, where I used to just enjoy getting up early in the morning and going into the forest and drawing anything that I could see. I originally trained to be a cartographer, which was very accurate drawing with magnifying glass in my eyes. I then became an interior designer and worked as a designer for close to 30 years. And eventually I was confronted with another decision as to what I want to do for the rest of my life. And that's when I decided I always enjoyed working with children, combining my interest in art and my artistic ability with working with children is really what made me then go and study to become an art therapist. The art is used to express the emotional and the subconscious, whereas in verbal therapy you are able to control what you want to say and what you don't want to say.
Art was my way of getting away from things. It was the only time my brain shut down enough that I could process what was happening. I could focus on the strokes of the pencil or the swipe of my finger and not have to worry about what was outside my room. I don't think I ever got into it. I feel like it was just always there. It's always a part of my life. It's not something I actually just got into. Right from watching my brother, just wanting to be like him, and then when I got to my teenage years, it ended up being something that got me through.
No, it was Miss Thompson at Clemens Mill School used to teach us to draw portraits, and I drew a picture of Sharon Stone. That's when I first started getting into it. I was really big into drawing Disney characters, and I wanted to get into a little more depth there, but just never really pushed into it. Not so much drawing art, but the art of poetry, yeah. Or some sort of short story writing, but not so much the actual sitting down to draw anymore.
So you instead moved from visual arts into a more written form of it?
Yes.
I wanted to work for Disney. That was my biggest dream. I wanted to do the backgrounds. I just wanted to have my hand in the colors and the whole character of the movie.
Art therapy is comprised of two components. The first one is psychology, the second one is the art. But the art is used as a tool, meaning there is a verbal interaction and interchange.
I hurt my hand in a car accident, and because of the injury to my hand, I was unable to finish the art classes I needed to finish that semester. And unfortunately, I didn't have a good guidance counselor who gave me other options to find my way back to that goal. It basically just led me to believe that it was over. So from that point on, I just went in a different direction, not knowing that I had another option. I've drawn since. My style of drawing changed. I think having the accident and not being able to draw was a huge challenge for me because I had no way of escaping anything that was going on around me. So it was a hard time, and I think everything I went through trying to get the art back, trying to get that outlet back, I think brought out more when I was able to draw again. Someone asked me why I don't hang my art on the walls of my house. And the reason is when people look at my pictures, They just see pencil. They just see pencil on paper. They just see the picture or the beauty of it. But 90% of my pictures, there's sorrow. I don't want that on my walls. I look at my pictures and I see what I was feeling. Because I left it there. I left it on the paper. That's why I don't put them up. You know, I keep them because they're a part of me. They're a piece of me because that's where I put it. I put it on the paper. But I don't hang them because I don't need the reminder. It didn't work if I hang it up and I see it every day. So where I love them and I'd never give them away because they're a piece of me. I don't want to live every day reliving every bad emotion I ever experienced, you know? That's why I don't hang them. That's why they stay in the closet.
It is not only therapeutic, it comes from the soul. You don't have to know how to draw. In fact, the less you know how to draw, the better. When you are looking at the piece from a therapeutic point of view, it is really coming out, expressing how you feel. And whether that is just in lines, in scribbles, whether you use paints or pencils or it's all very meaningful and gives us an idea of where the individual is having difficulties.
Finding other ways of dealing with the stress, other ways that weren't self-destructive of expressing what I was feeling at the time. So that was really hard, I think, because I put a lot of weight on my ability to put it on paper. And I had to overcome that before I was ever able to draw again because I was afraid of failing. I was afraid of finding out that I couldn't do it again. So that was huge. I had to learn to let that go before I could draw again.
And get the thoughts out, write it down, whether it's drawing or words, still getting it out and getting it off your heart or off your mind, right?
My drawings are like an old best friend. I know it's always there. I know I can always go back. It's just hard to find the time.
In therapy, you cannot look for immediate results. And at least the way I approach and my philosophy of art therapy is that it is client-centered. The speed we go at is determined by the individual. So not by me, that I want to reach a certain goal in X number of hours. And that is the reason why it also is a more long-term treatment rather than short-term.
That was my only therapy. That was my only coping mechanism for a long time.
When I have seen an individual who was not only a selective mute, but also was in therapy for years previous and would only express themselves by drawing lines, eventually moving to using different colors. But in the end, when I saw that individual open up and draw a self-portrait that was so complete, it truly blew me away, and that was very, very satisfying to see how the individual bloomed. It took the time it took, and I think I was able to bring the experience that I've collected through the years, which made it possibly made me a better therapist. I have to say that I wish I had come to it a lot sooner.